All right, guys, welcome back to another episode. So listen, in this episode, I'm going to be showing you guys step by step of exactly how you can go out and get funding for your business. So if you've never created an LLC before, this is the video that you need to watch from start all the way to finish. And make sure that you stay to the end because I'm going to be sharing the bonus websites on where you can go to learn step by step of exactly how to set up your LLC. So now, this is literally the first step because a lot of times is when people are looking to get business funding, they miss the step of having their business registered. And this thing costs them a lot of money. The reason why it costs them a lot of money is because there's a lot of business owners that I'm glad that they didn't start their business, but they never took the time to actually incorporate and have the registered documents set up so that way they can qualify for business benefits like tax write-offs, business funding, and also separating yourself from your business. If anything were to happen, you limit the liability from your business. So people can't come out and sue you personally. They're going to be suing you for your assets. But let's not even talk about suing because we're not here for that. We're here for LLC. So what I went ahead and did was I went ahead and I wrote down some steps so that way you can go ahead and follow and make sure that you set up your LLC the right way the first time without having to make costly mistakes. So before I even get into any steps, first things first is here are the two most fundable entities. So you're either going to have an LLC or you're going to set up your business as a corporation. So now in this case, we're going to be setting up our business as an LLC. You have the option of either LLC or corporation, but in this case, my best bet is the easiest thing is to set up yourself as an LLC because now you can always change it later as a tax selection. That's one of the things that you must do when you're talking to your accountant. You need to have that conversation and say, hey, listen, should I set it up as an LLC or a corporation? But if you're starting out brand new, you don't know anything, let's just go with the route of LLC. So step number one, first things first is you want to pick a name for your business. So now, the name should be a name where it's very, very, very low risk. So when I say low risk, if you're doing real estate, you're doing things like trucking, if you have a finance company, if you have like a cannabis company, any of those kind of names, those are considered high risk industries. It's not a problem to be, have a business in a high risk industry, but just understand what it comes with. Banks typically might not want to do business with you. Merchant services might not want to do business with you, and it just makes your job harder. So if you just have a generalized name, that makes your job much easier. So step number one is pick a name for your business. Next thing after you pick your name is to search up the domain name. It's important that your domain name is accessible because we're in a digital era. You need to be found on websites. People should be able to Google your name. They should be able to type up your name in Safari and find your business. So you can find out if your name is available by going to simply like GoDaddy.com. You can go to GSuite.com. These are places that you can go to buy a domain for your business. Also, to make sure, in step number one is you want to make sure that your business name is available. So now we might be doing business in a state like New Jersey. If I were setting up my business and I found out a name that I like and I want to run with, what I would do is I'll go to the Secretary of State site for New Jersey and I would type in the name to find out if that name is available. So that's step number one. Create a name for your business. Make sure it's not in a high risk industry. Also, a part of step number one is to also search up your domain and make sure that name is available. Step number two is an address. After you got your name, you want to have an address for your business. So now, when it comes to addresses, a lot of times people want to go ahead and set up a registered office. They want to set up a virtual office. They want to set up, different addresses. Or the mistake that people make is they go out and they start using their home address. Now, it's not a problem to use your home address as your business address, but just remember, business information is public information. So now, let's just say, for example, if somebody's searching up your business name, they're going to show the location of your business. They're going to show the address, all of that stuff. And if they find out where you're at, where you live, then a person might be able to come to your house. I'm just saying it's a safety reason, right? So if you have a business, you want to make sure that you have an address set up specifically for business purposes. So now, some of the places that you can go to get an address for your business is Regis.com, Alliance.com, Opus.com. Those are like 3 different sites that you can go to find a business address for your business. Step number 3 is secure your business phone number. So you can go to a place like Google.com. They have a Google workspace where you can actually get yourself a business phone number. With this business phone number, it allows you to separate your personal phone number from your business phone number. And also, with step number 3 is to secure your business email. So now you'll be able to have a separation between your own personal email and your business email. And on top of that, it makes you look a little bit more professional. So that's one of the steps that you want to make sure that you check off. And step number 4 is secure a registered agent. So now, what is a registered agent? Basically, a registered agent is a company that is in charge of if anything were to go wrong with your business as far as documentation wise. If you were being sued, they're going to be the first person to be notified, and they will notify you that there's some kind of lawsuit, some kind of lien, anything negative or anything where a message needs to get to the business owner. They are going to be the person that is in charge to notify you and let you know that, hey, listen, your business needs to become compliant, things like that, right? So you got to get yourself a registered agent, right? So one of the ways that you can find a registered agent is just simply going on Google. You can type in your state, and then you can type in the word registered agent right after your state. So now let's just say, for example, New Jersey. You would type in New Jersey registered agent. From there, you'll see multiple different registered agents. I personally just go with the cheapest one that allows me to, 1, use their address for my business address, and for 2, the cheapest one, right? Because they're all doing the same thing. They don't really have too much of a big role when it comes to your business, but you must have a registered agent. So now this goes back to step number 2 when I mentioned having a business address. So now you can use, if the registered agent allows you to, you can use their address on your LLC, so that way you can have some kind of privacy when it comes to having your address listed on your LLC documentation. Because again, this information is public. Anybody can Google search it and they can find out where you live. There are weirdos out there, so protect yourself. Right. And then the last thing is, now that we've got our business, we've picked the business name, we've got the domain name, we've secured the address, we've got a business phone number, we've got the email, we paid for our registered agent. The last thing is you want to gather all of these things. So now we went over the business name. Write down your business name. We went over the domain name. Write down your domain name. Make sure you secure all of these things. Second is we got the we got the address. Again, you can either use your registered agent's address, or you can go to a place like Opus.com, Alliance.com, Regis.com. They will allow you to use their website for business purposes. The next thing is you went ahead, you secured a business phone number. You more than likely went to Google Voice, or you can even go to a place like ringcentral.com. Also, we've got our business email address. So these are the things that you all want to write down and make sure that you have everything organized before you fill out the LLC documentation. And then the last thing is you have your registered agent. So make sure that you pay for your registered agent service before you go out and fill out the LLC application, because these are all of the things that you're going to have to fill out on the documents when you're filing your LLC docs, right? The next thing is to Google whatever state that you are located in and the word Secretary of State. So now, say for example, if you were doing business in New Jersey, you would type in New Jersey Secretary of State. This allows you to go to their website and create your LLC on that website. Every state is different. Every state has a different approval process. Every state has a different time frame as far as approval process. So you just have to check out your actual state to see how much it'll cost and the time frame of approval. Some states you can literally fill it out that same day and you'll get the approval right away, right? So every state is different. Just Google your own state and you'll be able to find out what's the fees, what's the cost, what's the time frame of approval, right? So now that you have your LLC documentation, most times you'll probably get that in 1 to 2 business days, or you might get it the same day. It all depends on the state and how fast that they move. The next thing after you got your LLC registered with the state, you want to take that information and save that in a folder. Make sure you have that documents because it's going to be something that you need moving forward in the future. After you got your LLC documentation, step number 6 is to go to irs.gov. And when you go to irs.gov, you're going to register yourself and get an EIN. Now, an EIN is basically an employee identification number. This is a number that you're going to be using anytime that you're filling out applications, anytime that you're filing your taxes. This is the specific number that you're going to need so that way you can do business. This is also going to be the number that you're going to be using when you start to build business credit as well. So make sure that you go to irs.gov so that way you can get yourself an EIN and you make sure your business is registered the right way. So now this is a free document. You do not have to pay for EIN whatsoever. Make sure that you go and you fill out the application and put the right information. Once you fill out the information on the irs.gov, make sure you save that document as well. That's a document that you more than likely probably might have a hard time recovering if you lost it. So go ahead and save that document. They're going to give it to you in PDF format as soon as you fill out that application. That is important. This is what's going to be needed for you to open a bank account. This is what's going to be needed for tax purposes. This is going to be needed for everything that you do in your business. Think of this EIN number as your social security number for your business. It's important. The next thing is to have an operating agreement. So now, what is an operating agreement? An operating agreement is basically what goes on in your business. It lists out all the responsibilities of what's going to be taking place in your business, especially if you have multiple people in your business. This is where you guys have a common ground and you guys have an understanding of what's your role, what's the description of this role, and how you're going to be contributing toward this business. So that way there is no misconceptions, there's no misunderstandings. You guys understand how business is going to be held moving forward. This is an internal document that you will keep so that way you know what's going on, he knows what's going on, she knows what's going on. It also breaks down the percentage of the business that's owned, right? So now, in order to get an operating agreement, here's the most easiest way for you to get an operating agreement for your business. You can go to rocketlawyer.com, and rocketlawyer.com will go ahead and they will create yourself an operating agreement so that way you can have this documentation for yourself. Again, this is another file that you want to save within your own documentation. So keep all these docs together because you're going to need it at some point in your business career. And then the last step is to maintain active status for your LLC. So now when it comes to maintaining, when it comes to your LLC, every state is different. Some states they might require you to have your LLC paid every year. Some states they might have you pay every 2 years, every 5 years, every 10 years to maintain active status with the state to say, hey, listen, I'm still legit, I'm still active, I'm still running business. So make sure that you are active when it comes to running your LLC because now this allows you to take advantage of all the business perks. So here is the bonus. You stay to the end. Here's one thing that I want to recommend to you guys. To piece all of this thing together, what you can do is go to llcuniversity.com. This is going to be the same exact website that literally breaks down step by step of exactly how to set up your LLC. It doesn't matter if you're living in California. It doesn't matter if you're in Texas. It doesn't matter if you're in Wyoming. It doesn't matter if you're in Washington. It doesn't matter if you're in Florida. It's going to break down step by step of exactly what we just went over with videos, text scripts, and information that you can use, so that way you know that you're on track to set up your LLC the right way. This is the end of this video. Go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next episode. And also, if your business needs funding, this is the first step. I can help you to get the business funding that you need. Go ahead and book the consultation link down below, and I'll see you guys on the inside. Let's get you some funding. Peace. All right, so here's a quick announcement before I have our guests introduce themselves. A lot of people that are watching this channel is more than likely small business owners, entrepreneurs, people that are looking to change their lives and make a lot of money for themselves. So now, one thing that I realize is there's stats out there proving that a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of business owners fail because they have lack of capital. So what I decided to do was I thought it was only right that I start having free classes every single Monday on our YouTube channel on the Motion and Success page every single Monday at 7 p.m. live in direct, where you'd be able to have your questions answered live. And this is literally a breakdown showing you exactly of how you can get funding for your small business. So if you're looking for business credit cards, business loans, business lines of credit, any kinds of funding, this is the live that you want to tune into. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel and put it on your calendar. Every Monday at 7 p.m. we are going live showing you step by step about exactly how to get funding for your small business. See you guys on Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.